Welcome back to Dish and DAS Administration 1, FR100. My name is David, and I will be your instructor for this learning module. In this final module of the course, you will learn about the Streaming Gateway and Cloud Connector Appliances. I will explain the purpose and architecture of Streaming Gateway Appliance version 4 and the Cloud Connector Appliance for Nutanix AHV infrastructure. Let's begin. The Streaming Gateway Appliance, or SGA, is a virtual appliance that runs inside of your cloud infrastructure. As of 2025, version 4 is the current release. So what does it do? The SGA is a secure reverse proxy specifically designed to work with the frame remoting protocol. SGA appliances are pre-built images that easily deployable within the cloud infrastructure. SGA enables organizations to grant their users secure access to their virtualized applications and desktops without the use of a VPN. The SGA includes built-in encryption and high availability. This means you do not need VPNs or SASE solutions. It also means you do not need to worry about managing SSL certificates or DNS configurations to make it work. Additionally, because SGA is scalable, you do not need load balancers such as NetScalers. To visualize how the SGA works, start with a Launchpad user attempting to connect to a workload desktop sitting behind a firewall in the cloud infrastructure. Rather than use public IPs or open a hole through the firewall directly to the infrastructure, instead a pair of SGAs is placed inside of a DMZ segment of the network. Typically, a private IP is assigned to each SGA with access to the workloads, and given a NAT mapping through the firewall to provide external access. FRP traffic will be routed through the SGAs. So, when the user requests a session, the DAS platform directs the end user through the SGA and establishes a connection stream with the workload VM. The DAS control panel allows you to manage SGA appliances. From the Streaming Gateway menu option, you can easily view existing clusters, check node version, node status, and see how many accounts are attached to an SGA cluster. From here, you can also create and expand new clusters. SGA deployment is managed through the control panel. If you are using a public cloud provider for your infrastructure, both automated and manual mechanisms are available. Automated deployments use a pre-built image provided by Dishin, and registration is automatic. For manual deployment, you must register the appliance using an activation code. This one-time use registration code is provided by the frame control panel and must be entered using the VM console. Manual mode is optional for public cloud and may be required in some use cases. AHV infrastructure only supports manual registration. Once you have an SGA4 cluster established with at least one node, you can create a new frame account and select this SGA when prompted to configure networking, or you can assign or attach an SGA to an existing frame account in the settings. This screenshot from the control panel shows the attachment of an SGA to an existing frame account. Navigate to Account, Settings, Networking, Attach SGA, select Cluster, and click the Attach SGA link. You are then given a list of available SGAs for the infrastructure provider that backs this account. That's it! Although SGAs are optional, customers using on-premise infrastructure with Nutanix AHV will be required to deploy a Cloud Connector Appliance, or CCA. The CCA is a pre-built virtual image that runs within the Nutanix infrastructure. It orchestrates actions and relays information between Prism Central and the Dishin DAS control plane. The CCA requires access to the Prism API on the customer's Nutanix management plane. CCAs are not required for public cloud as the control plane uses the cloud provider's native API to handle orchestration. Let's examine the connectivity between the Dish and DAS backplane and the infrastructure providers. On the left are some public cloud providers, and on the right, a Nutanix AHV environment. The backplane hosts the frame microservices, each of which handles a different function. For example, the Identity Management Gateway brokers the authentication and authorization requests with your configured identity provider. For public cloud, the IaaS orchestrator completes actions such as create, delete, power functions, disk management, backups, and so on. It uses the public APIs and other cloud-native capabilities provided by the vendor. The backplane relies upon the API key that was provided when adding the cloud account to perform these tasks on your infrastructure. For Nutanix, a dedicated backplane service, the Cloud Connector Service, or CCS, communicates with the infrastructure by means of a CCA that is deployed on the AHV cluster. The CCS and CCA work together to orchestrate the same actions on the hypervisors by way of the Prism API. And that's how it works. So that's it for this module. Let's take a moment to review. The Streaming Gateway Appliance, or SGAs, are pre-built images that provide a secure proxy for end users to access their virtual desktops without the need for a VPN. SGAs include built-in encryption and high availability, and are managed using the control panel. Cloud Connector Appliance, or CCA, is a virtual image for Nutanix AHV infrastructure that orchestrates actions and relays information between Prism Central and the dish and backplane. This concludes the module and the FR100 course series. For more training videos, please subscribe to the channel and visit our website frequently. As a reminder, for deeper instructions and information about what you have learned in this course, our documentation is always available at docs.dishin.com. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.